Zimbabwean people, they put their weight, because the chances for them to win it, they are actually very high. They have more than 2/3 majority. The opposite that is there, to me, is just kind of a ceremonial as well. So they can win. But let them consider the masses of the Zimbabweans, the ordinary citizens, to put their weight. For which we are also ready to also move around and educate the masses about the goodies that we are seeing within being brought by this amendment. Because like I'm saying, I'm not worried whether the president is there from 2028 to 2030. I'm happy about the issue of at least having hope of electing a civilian president. At least having hope of this rigid and tight system that is there. Because as it is said, there's nothing to defend. Already you and me, we cannot determine who is the president. That is what is there. So the president has done something very good to bring these amendments, because at least there's a shift that we are not worried about administering the constituents or supervising the constituents of the president. It's too big. How ballots are going to be moved or deployed, transportation also will be limited to. Our effort should then be directed to all the political parties, not now to come 10 days or some minutes before the general election. It should work on the ground. We are a properly structured part, as we haven't stopped since 2023. Already up to date, we commissioned more than 6 provinces. Yes, we do have provincial leadership in place right now. So we are pushing for these parliamentary elections. We are pushing for the parliament to get more executive powers, because we know that's the only way. You go, you work hard, you recruit, you sell ideas, you gain momentum, you sell a manifesto, then you have chances of making it to parliamentarians. Not to beg the entire hope of 60 million on personalities. That we hope that as soon as that Mr. So or Mr. So can be president, things are okay. No, that's not how you govern a country. You need to govern with a team. So this one is encouraging people to come. If you have the hope, you should come through. You work hard, you go on the ground, grassroots, your own structures right to the top. You become a political party that is well organized and structured. You compete. You produce your 10 MPs, like in South Africa, 12 MPs. That's the beginning. Not only to think that, imagine, right, if we have a president, with this current situation, we have elected a president, but that president is just a president with no parliamentarians. What will happen? The constitution also has its own position. The same parliamentarians can do something also to that president. So, whichever the case, the voices of the people by this method is not protected. With this current, because the president is distant from the parliamentarians. He is working his part saying, I am elected by the total, the people of the Zimbabwean people. I got the votes. He can then appoint his VPs. He's having the votes of the people. The parliamentarians are they also elected by themselves. There's a game. So we want to create some form of accountability whereby we can invest more power into the parliament than the president himself. Thereby trying to create or improve accountability. This is the position. For us as Democratic Union of Zimbabwe, we don't just oppose for the sake of opposing. We try to find some sense in whatever that is coming before us, and we try to see what is happening. So in this case, we are in favor of, we are 100% in support of the amendment, particularly specifically targeting this issue of a chance of bringing a civilian president that can bring an end to the current system that we are having. That if you repeatedly done, forget and smile, more than 8 years, there will be straight jacket. These people will be just sharing power. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Taking your questions, may you kindly identify where you are coming from. If you've got questions to ask, you are free. Yes.
Okay, my name is Willis Moyo for Zimcast TV. I would like to hear from you, Mr. President, since you are in support of the amendment, the constitutional amendment, and it is your view that the majority of the opposition political parties is concerned, that constituency is not sharing the same view or position as Democratic Union of Zimbabwe. You made mention that sometimes it could be a case of focusing on personalities or hero worshiping, whatever the situation, but not really looking at the nuts and bolts of that amendment as to what benefit it will bring to perhaps to the ordinary, to the generality of Zimbabweans. You are in favor of that, and you feel that your fellow colleagues in the opposition parties, they are not seeing that. So what are you doing to make sure at least that you reason your perspectives to your colleagues, so that at least by maybe as the opposition parties, you come with a collective voice which is actually in favor, just like the position that you have as GUZ?
Thank you very much. First of all, 100% agreed. This is the beginning. We are here, I believe, on this issue of constitutional amendment. We were the first one to come out open and say that we are in favor of this. We are seeing some benefits. I think it is going to actually open a can of discussion whereby people will then say, can you go deeper? Then this is the platform we have initiated. I believe you guys, as soon as we leave here, we are going to be circulating our position, then the outreach, inviting each other, we shall be visiting. Some of them, in 2023, we had some different views towards how to campaign. But at the end, there were some talks actually in the negotiations at the end, but on last minute. So on this one, what we have done is the DUZ is directly what we are, that's the reason why we are here. We've come here so that we put our position very clear and straightforward, that we are seeing something that they are not seeing. And we are having the example that took place here in Zimbabwe, not in South Africa, that in 2008, ZANU-PF becoming an opposite party, and MDC was the ruling party. And for the first time, we had the opposite Speaker of Parliament in the name of Honorable Momoyo. It happened. And it was an opportunity, given that we had this bill, Morgan Tsvangirai was going to be the first civilian president. It happened in 2008. What blocks us, Morgan Tsvangirai to become the first civilian president is the very reason why what I'm saying my fellows are not seeing. The reason what blocked Morgan Tsvangirai to become the first civilian president after he won is they are still existing, those reasons. These are the reasons that are about to be addressed by the amendments in a long run. This is what my fellow opposition leaders are not seeing. Because as long as we are defending the current status quo, the civilian leader will not rise to the office. Just like what happened. The man had his party won, but himself was said he was declared not enough to rule by whatever method that was used. And the court, the military cell also declared that we are not going to salute a civilian president. It's simply because of the system that we are having now. That is about to be, at least diluted by the new moves that are about to be brought by this one. Amendments.
So, another question?
It has almost 2 years. He is saying there is no opposition in Zimbabwe. So what would be your attitude, since that we have noticed that, like we have said, Democratic Union of Zimbabwe has never stopped to be visible on the ground since 2023. But how would you feel if someone comes and say you haven't been there when you were actually there?
Politics is about strategies. If you expose your strategy, you want to win. It's like playing chess. We have been there. I'm telling you, we've commissioned more than 6 provinces. We have of 40 each, right from the chairman to the last position. Right? We were doing this under our code named the virus strategy that we are still continuing actually implementing. We commissioned the 6 and we are still going. We are not a political party for social media. Part of the reasons why these personalities were hero worshiping is because they just capitalize on this thing, betting on what they did yesterday. As were the new, we are coming. We were born in 2022. So we believe we want to copy the solidity and the organizational structure that brings results. Not that is why before 2023 they were solid. Just after 2023 they lost elections. What's next? Some could go for sabbatical. Member parliamentarians are there. hijacked because there is no organizational structure that is concrete. Nobody can be accountable to a certain system. So I'm not actually disturbed because I know this is where we are with those people. They can as well come even 6 months before, they can come today. But the truth of the matter, without grassroots, with the treasure of the political party and the party members, we are working on that. And I can assure you that we are growing on a daily basis in terms of leaders. For us right now, we are not worried about supporters. No. We are only worried about leaders. We are recruiting leaders. And leaders cannot be recruited on social media. We can only recruit leaders through our method of identifying good leaders, giving each other positions. That is what we have been doing, and it's working. There shall be time now when we come for supporters. When we look for supporters, then we make noise. Our director of communications today, Mr. Mchema, is very good. He has vast experience in doing that. In a short time, he can just gather a lot of noise in the social media platform. But we know social media platform is another thing. Like even the current head of state always say, you cannot win elections on WhatsApp. Like it or not, it's a fact. If you don't have followers on the grassroots, forget about it. If you are not united, forget about it. I think what is to be done is clearly enshrined in the constitution itself. And our lawyers and those legal experts are aware of that. So I believe even the current system, the current head of state and his team, they also have enough people who are competent to scrutinize and know which path are they going to capitalize on to get to there. But as like I said, we actually encourage them to take it to the referendum as stipulated as we are saying. And as we are also prepared to go and educate the masses on the good, is like we are saying, we are seeing a window of actually trying to come up with a civilian president on that. So there's no problem for us to vote to actually push the same agenda. But let it be done within the constitution. Let it be done. I am aware that there are some clauses they apply there, they consult. We have lawyers, they consult. If demands to go to the referendum, like I said, they have 2/3 in parliament. Through their MPs, they can as well campaign. And there are a lot of factors that we can put in place. That parliament right now, I don't think the so-called Triple C, we know what they're going to do it. They can as well vote with them if they vote, or they can deploy them together and campaign for the approval of the amendment. But we are sticking to what we are seeing as the Democratic Union of Zimbabwe. That party that is about to neutralize the hardships that we are facing today. Because that one I think is bigger than the issue of certain individuals to benefit. Because retaining this system, like in 2028, you can go for election and they will be announced the following day. They will win. What happened when we were told that the elections they won in 2023? The next thing, the opposite leaders who were banking on that they were contesting, they even went quiet. Did you have anyone who contested the election? Was the process transparent? So what is it there to defend?
Can we take another question?